Well, judgment has been reserved following a preliminary hearing between Trade Union Solidarity and the Minister of Sport and Recreation today. Solidarity wants to stop the implementation of quotas in various sporting disciplines. The Sport Minister and 5 others, including SARU and the CSA, are opposing that challenge. But before that, the court is hearing provisional arguments on whether Solidarity and the Labour Union have jurisdiction over the matter. eNCA's Hloni Mtumkulu has been following the story for us. So, Hloni, there's so many arguments to this case. I mean, that intro itself explained all of it, but I need you to explain more because it's so complicated. Why exactly were we in court today? And this obviously seems to be the first part of this going forward.
Process, yeah. So in May 2017 already, Solidarity did serve SASCOC, the Sports Department, and these 4 federations papers notifying them that they're opposing the implementation of the Sports Transformation Charter, which is quotas but not quotas, basically they're saying. So today, or yesterday, the Judge Zolishe Lali said that she wanted to hear the 2 arguments that the Sports Department had brought up, which is that Solidarity does not have jurisdiction to cover this, or the Labour Court does not have jurisdiction to cover this matter, because if it's a Labour matter, then it should have first gone to the CCMA before reaching the Labour Court, and also that Solidarity as a trade union, because none of these sports players, none of the staff of the different federations belong to Solidarity, that actually Solidarity then does not have standing to represent them. So that's what we were hearing today, not the actual merits of the case. Yeah.
But you did speak to the Solidarity spokesperson. What is he telling you?
Well, yeah, so he said that even though, this argument was brought forward that Solidarity does not actually have standing to take this on, that they still feel that they do have, there's a public interest for them to take it on, that in principle that it is something that they should take on. Let's hear a bit more from him, from Werner Human, what he had to say.
And we have pointed out that there was no procedure or any sort of citation or supporting documents to which the respondents have referred to. They have merely inferred it in some way. But our entry point is from the point of constitution. And if you look at the Labour Relations Act, it's somewhere in the 150s. It does make this unique entry route that you can take to the court. And that's what we rely upon. We believe if you look at the merits of the case, essentially this has to do with the constitution. It has to do with the Employment Equity Act, and it's done with principles being applied. So our focus, which must be stated, our focus specifically is the adoption of quotas, which is not in line with the Constitution or the EA as we submit, and that is what we would be arguing.
Why is Solidarity arguing against the Transformation Charter?
It's very important to know that we are not against a Transformation Charter or any other documents per se. Our notice of motion is very specific to say that those provisions of the Transformation Charter, those provisions of the resolutions, those provisions of the agreements, that which is out of line with the Constitution and which formally secures under quotas, those ought to be removed, but not the Transformation Charter as a whole. We have a very specific focus, but it's a very important focus as well.
There's going to be people for and against this, and of course, sporting people in particular and unions will react. Any reaction from them?
Well, so the unions themselves, according to counsel for the respondents, Norman Arnson, did say that both the SA Cricketers Association and the Rugby Players Association are opposing what Solidarity is putting up. Of course, because netball and athletics are more, athletics is an individual sport, whereas netball is semi-pro, it's not professional. They don't actually have a union, so they were arguing that, well, the players aren't actually even employed by the department or by a union, so they are out of it. But in terms of rugby and cricket, they are behind what the sports department at SASCOC and what the federation are doing, so they're opposing what Solidarity is doing. But we haven't had any players speak out publicly. It would be great to see if any of them do actually say anything on their own.
Yeah, what's the next move now? We're waiting for judgment.
We're waiting for judgment. We don't know yet when that will come out, but hopefully in the next few weeks or so, because of course this matter itself still has to be heard, and we expect that the next EPG report on transformation in sport to come out in May, so it will all sort of play along those lines.
All right, thanks so much for that. Appreciate it. Our reporter, Hloni Mtumkulu.
Be smart. Choose Profmed's Savvy Hospital Network options with unlimited